Okay, Dak Prescott apologized Tuesday via Twitter for his post-game comments regarding fans throwing bottles and debris at the officials after Sunday's wild-card loss to the San Francisco 49ers. On Tuesday, he walked that back, tweeting to his 1.4 million followers to apologize, writing this. I'll read it to you. I deeply regret the comments I made regarding the officials after the game on Sunday. I was caught up in the emotion of a disappointing loss, and my words were uncalled for and unfair. I hold the NFL officials in the highest regard, and I've always respected their professionalism and the difficulty of their jobs. The safety of everyone who attends a game or participates on the field of a sporting event is a very serious matter. That was a mistake on my behalf, and I am sorry. All I have to say is 2 words: class act. Marcus Spears, how does Dak look following this apology?
It looks bad. It looks bad because Dak, listen, Molly. We sometimes apologies have to come because it looks good publicly. All right, Dak, in the heat of the moment, I'm sure he was reeling from losing the game, and he made a statement about the referees based on a question that was asked that he would walk back. So I firmly believe that he feels bad about it looking back at it, but ultimately, I'm not going to ever get on First Take. We didn't went in on refs before. We just haven't went in on them publicly. I'm sure Dak felt that way. I'm sure a lot of people felt that way. But ultimately, what it really boils down to is the damage is already done based on what you said, because referees do go through a lot. In all sports, in all professional sports, when you start talking about dealing with fans and when fans feel like they were the reason that their team lost and all of those things. So they go through a lot. So to gaslight that and add fuel to that by saying that in that moment, even though you were emotional and even though you had just suffered a loss that you didn't think that you would, in a game that you would lose, I just don't like it. I think the apology, though, I think it comes from public perception, because I firmly believe Dak still feels that way. And that's my point for saying it falls on deaf ears. I understand the apology. I understand the analysis of the apology and why you apologize. But ultimately, I believe Dak truly felt that way when that question was asked. And I still think he feels that way today, even though he's walked it back and apologized. I still think he feels that way about the refs. Not throwing stuff at him, but his vitriol towards him, I still believe he feels that.
Well, it's a debate show, and we certainly have a whole bunch of stuff that we'll get into today. But this ain't one of the things that we're going to disagree about. If anything, I disagree with you, Molly, only from this perspective. You can be classy and dead wrong.
Yeah.
Which he was. And that's the point that can't be escaped. You walked it back. The apology was spot on. It was perfect.
Yeah.
He said all the right things upon having a day or two to reflect on it.
Yeah.
Not to mention the fact we also have to take this into consideration. He is usually class personified.
Yeah.
And so you give him the benefit of the doubt. But here's the reason why with this particular apology, and it somewhat touches on what Marcus alluded to, but I'm going to go a little bit deeper, Swagoo, with this. Yeah, he probably meant it. Yeah, he said what he said. And guess what? That ain't no crime. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with feeling disgusted with the referees and the job they did. Here's the most egregious part about Dak Prescott. Ultimately, you were trying to blame the referees for the game, not for the moment. You were out there for 60 minutes, and you played like hot trash. That's the reality. Now, one play, think about this. What Dak was in a position to do was try to go, and not necessarily a Hail Mary, because it wasn't like he was 60 or 70 yards downfield. But basically what you tried to use a couple of seconds that you thought should have been available to you to try to pull off a miracle and use that to blame officials for what you were on the field 60 minutes doing, or 59 minutes and 40 seconds. That was you, Dak Prescott, the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys, who, by the way, I don't understand how you have less followers than me, but that's a different subject for another day.
Oh, my God. Sit down somewhere
You're the quarterback for the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, damn, I thought he would have
time out. I need to say something in defense of Dak Prescott and play devil's advocate here. Guys, this was potentially their best chance to win a Super Bowl, right? They were talented on both sides of the ball. Everyone thought this is their year. He went through injuries. He's heartbroken. He loses a game in embarrassing fashion. They have 14 penalties. Then someone comes up to him and says, "Did you see the fans throwing debris?" He was in the heat of the moment.
We get that, Molly, and that's why I said
we get it. But
how are we going to act like this is egregious when other things that athletes have done? Then he comes up, shows his face, and says, "I apologize."
No.
We're all human and we make mistakes,
wait a minute.
especially when we're upset.
You have an obligation when you make a point to listen to a retort.
Okay, well, I wasn't done making it.
Here's where I'm coming at you with, Molly. We're not saying that, oh my goodness, it's egregious and not to forgive him for it. What we're saying is you tried to point the finger at officials for what you didn't do in the end.
He was asked a question. He was salty about it.
Wait a minute. But you salty about it and you were looking to point the finger at someone other than yourself.
Yes.
You did not play good. You came up short. You didn't produce.
But he was asked
you got
about
outplayed
the debris.
by Jimmy
He
Garoppolo.
wasn't asked about that. He was asked about the debris, gentlemen. He was asked a direct question about that subject.
Okay.
He wasn't asked about his play.
So let me respond to that part of it, since he was asked a direct question.
Okay.
In the middle of heat and in the middle of anger, he has to understand that inciting, I don't want to sensationalize it, throwing debris at the referees, how they take it as a effect on their person. Right? You saw the referees come out and say we unequivocally are mad. The league needs to take action. Dak in that moment, Dak been playing football long enough. And y'all all know I'm a Dak Prescott fan. I think Dak has done a lot of tremendous things the right way. So this is not an indictment on who Dak Prescott is as a whole person. This particular situation, though, you have to be smarter than saying credit to them for throwing things at the referees, bro. You've been in this too long to know what type of vitriol that looks like and how that happens. The heat of the moment can't be an excuse for that, Molly Q. It just can't.
It can't. Well, not just that, Molly. Here's the other thing that you have to take into consideration. You will chronicle, because you're the matriarch of this show.
Thank you.
And you will chronicle what people's track records are.
Absolutely.
Character-wise, there's no debate about that.
No debate.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.